Hi Rohit. Previously we had bunch of friends talking about everything,
Mm-hmm.
but right now the format has kind of shifted to second season.
Okay.
So we may call this first episode of the second season.
That's fine.
Thank you. You have been doing a lot of things since a very long time, and I haven't seen event organizers being interviewed before. We
Okay.
have done that during gig updates days. We had done that. I haven't seen like people from local gigs or local scene have been interviewed who are behind getting bands together and getting the culture and music going all around the city. You have been that driving force. And I want to thank you for that, for the number of times you have hosted me and everybody else. I take permission from others as well to thank you to organize everything. There are no rock awards we have, but had it been there, I would have given you one.
Your kind words, but just to make it clear,
Yeah.
I'm not an organizer. I'm a vocalist. I'm a musician.
Okay.
That comes first.
Okay.
Organizing part
Yeah.
is second.
Right.
So I
Right.
think you know that we've known each other for like what, 15 years now, or maybe more.
You can briefly tell about yourself to everyone who is listening.
Myself, okay. This is my name is Rohit.
Okay.
I'm a vocalist for a Viking metal band called Ragenhild. I played for a couple of other bands as well. TM was my first band from Pune, and
Mm.
I started this event company called Blood Eagle Events. It's been 9 years
Mm.
now. I took a little break, back to it. Currently, I'm working with Startup Media. We're organizing mock
Oh,
scene in High Spirits. The next one is happening on the 11th of May. Hopefully,
right.
you should come actually. The Slit and Lotus are playing. It's gonna be a good scene.
I'm not telling you that
I'll
if
book
I
the
come and
I'll book a cab for you,
be
bro.
not on the guest list, not the person on the list. Yeah, yeah. The first mob scene was really good, right?
It was
How
good.
was it? How was your
Mob scene has been like really good when it comes to
how was your
gigs in Pune, especially in High Spirits. Good experience. Especially the venue has been too kind and they
Acha.
are very professional when it comes to organizing or hosting the bands. So it has
Yeah,
been a good
correct.
scene. Yeah, it has been a good scene.
Do you think there is a correlation? And I will move on to my question. I'll give you the
Mhm.
brief idea of what
Okay.
is going to follow. Because what I see is whatever happening is happening globally. For example, recently I came across a festival called Woodstock Festival. That has been the pioneer of festivals where all this renaissance and the movement around rock and independent culture and jazz and blues and everybody else at that point in it. They had a huge festival and people who all across the world had come and a great movement had come together, and that is how later on that word spread and those videos gave a lot of inspiration to the local rock and metal culture to organize more. For example, if we see that video of Metallica performing, and we know that where 1 million people had come,
Mhm.
then do you think that how have these global bands visiting India historically influenced the local rock and metal culture? Do you agree with this idea? Do you not agree?
That's a good question. I do agree with it because if there were no, if this band didn't come to India, for example, Iron Maiden, the first metal band to ever play in India, I think that's what that was in 2000. From the time they
Mm-hmm.
came in, the metal scene in India has improved. A lot of
Yeah, correct.
people picked up to learn the guitars. People started listening to rock,
Right.
things like that. And especially now, the music has evolved so
Mm-hmm.
much that Indian bands, especially a band like
Mm-hmm.
Bloodywood, they're incorporating their own style into the music.
Mm-hmm.
People may talk shit about them. Core
No,
metal
I,
public.
I don't think anybody talks it, but mostly the aspect about Bloodywood is the mixing of genres, right? It's more
They are
about the
based on genres.
musical.
They are
Yeah,
they are one of the biggest Indian bands in today's time.
yeah,
That's what I can say.
yeah, correct.
So there are musicians who are doing their own shit, and it's all these big bands who came to India, basically.
Do you think how exactly? For example, if I go and see Meshuga tomorrow at NS7, and day after tomorrow I'm watching some other band from some other genre. I'm going for somebody like, for example, Guns N' Roses. So what do you think? What exactly happens? Do people start believing into that cultural identity that all of this, okay, 50,000 people have come, therefore the scene is now revived? And do you think people start believing in it and therefore they respond to your gigs in a way? How does this happen? Which kind of particular things do people pick up from those gigs? And what exactly have you identified?
Mainly, these two are local scene and a band coming in India and playing. These are two separate
Mm-hmm.
scenarios or situations altogether. When
Yeah,
the
correct.
big band comes to India, they already have the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They already have a following. We have been listening to most of them since we were kids. So it's
Right.
a thing to come and watch the bands who are already evolved.
Mm.
When it comes to
Correct.
local bands from our time, we had
Mm-hmm.
some difficulties to promote ourselves in
Right.
some way or the other. Right now we have social media.
Mm-hmm.
Back then we didn't have that much of exposure to social media.
Mm-hmm.
Bands now can do a lot of things because of social media, basically.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Global bands coming to India is not a prerequisite for bands to do good
I mean,
on social media.
not really. See, big bands visiting India,
Okay.
they need some bands to open for them. I have seen a lot
Yeah,
of local
definitely.
bands opening for big bands
Yes.
in all the festivals. So that's a very
Okay.
good stage for local artists to showcase themselves.
Mm. Right.
When it comes to local gigs, maybe the problem is the organizers like me, we fail to promote the gig in such a manner.
Yeah, correct.
There are multiple reasons for it, financial reasons.
Mm.
These two factors matter a lot when it comes to promoting the local music.
Okay. But what I meant to ask was if I'm at a Meshuga gig, I'll tell you my story, what I identify. For on the first edition of NH7, the first edition of NH7, it started with Meshuga, the open air edition of
Yeah.
NH7 in Pune. Maybe there were a couple of gigs before that Meshuga gig. I felt connected because I was feeling like this is out of the box situation, something an international experience I could have in
Okay.
so little effort.
Mhm.
Because I didn't have to go outside India to experience what is happening outside India. That is
Mhm.
how I got introduced to the culture from other countries.
Okay.
For example, when Lamb of God came, I got introduced to the culture which the bands in US have.
Yeah.
And Lamb of God has kind of spearheaded that culture. They were the flag bearers of that culture. And that is how the exchange occurred. And I like that culture. I was introduced, I could have that international experience, by being in India. I didn't have to go outside. I didn't have to, wait for me to get that kind of a money or earn that much, get stable or something, things like that. For me, that was one of the aspects. The second aspect was the historical influence
Mhm.
which it put on my way of doing things was immense. It was immense. I just can't comprehend that globally I could see things and could judge things because this band had come to India. Had it not been the case, I would have still be the person who plays, some kind of a commercial music in a commercial setup and does not know much about what is going on outside. I didn't want to rely on internet. I wanted to go beyond internet and experience it. And
Mhm.
that is how, these bands have influenced me.
Mhm.
And therefore, I could carry on that culture. For example, but I'll just tell you that the long hair, the first introduction for me to long hair
Mhm.
was through somebody who played metal somewhere else and
Okay.
had visited India, right?
Yeah.
For example, the guy from Decapitated, you know that. Even
Mhm.
you had dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Decapitated के vocalist जितना ही रहेगा तेरा मतलब बहुत लंबा था यार
Ah,
बहुत ही ये था and I don't know why you cut your hair
got bored of it, man.
अरे यार क्यों अच्छा था वो but that identity that influenced me a lot.
Live is
After,
a different
yes,
vibe altogether.
upfront introduction to culture, metal
Mhm.
culture and rock culture had happened to me. And therefore, I could influence certain people from my town. I could talk about it to my friends. They started finding it weird. I had a separate identity because these band had come. Do you think when you go and watch Metallica or Megadeth or anybody, have
Mhm.
you watched? So I think you have watched Iron Maiden, right?
Fortunately, no, man. I
Acha,
wasn't able to, but I was able to see Megadeth live. At that time, Chris Adler was a drummer. They played in Bombay.
acha,
Harley of Fridays,
right,
yeah. I was
right,
right in front. It was a crazy scene, man.
correct.
Yeah,
So
and
I think these are kind of the landmarks now. If you see the Indian metal culture in India, have influenced a lot because they do come, and beyond nostalgia, we have a. I think I have a huge value to them.
of course, you should.
Yeah,
There was a time in our life, in all of our lives, when music saved us in some way or the other.
yeah.
People played a huge role into it.
Do you want to name anyone?
A lot of them. So there are
Acha,
bands like Megadeth, first thing, Lamb of
okay,
God, Behemoth. There are a lot of bands,
acha,
right? Like a lot of
right.
influences, especially Korn.
Fond,
Yeah,
yes, band. Even they had come to India, I guess.
yeah, but I miss them, man. I missed all the major bands who came to India.
Since last 5 6 years, I wasn't. Anyway,
Yeah, I saw your post like going to gigs and all, like crazy scene, huh? Enjoying a life.
Is it sarcasm?
Okay, man.
Too sarcastic,
Why would
Abhi.
I be sarcastic? Like, I'm happy for you. What the fuck?
Sarcasm. I mentioned sarcasm because NH7 and
Uh,
Name Gig
Name
got
gig.
cancelled. Let's go on to our next question. What are the cultural challenges faced by the younger musicians interested in metal? Going back, what did you face and what do you observe today?
There were limited resources
Yeah.
than what we have now.
Hmm.
There were a lot of cultural expectations from our parents, families, people around. What is this long hair? What is this? Or Spain? What the fuck are you doing in
Hmm.
Dubai? Like, get a job. These are things which,
Hmm.
so basically, we're Indians. For Indians, job, business is nothing. Typical Indian family. They want you to go and get a job. They do not want you to start your own shit. I guess it might be the same case with you when you were a kid, or maybe for some other people as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about typical
Was.
Indian family.
Hmm.
These are one of the things. Then there are also like competition from mainstream music,
Right.
yeah, mostly Bollywood and stuff like that. Venues, when we used to go and look for the venues, people used to be like, no, we don't do metal over here. You guys worship Satan. These were the exact words from the owners of those organizations. Okay, you guys worship Satan. First thing. Second thing, you guys create a ruckus. You guys fight. Moshing for them was fighting. They don't know want their places to be, destroyed or shit like that. A lot of things, man. Like a lot of things.
Do you think these challenges they are diverse, as you said, coming from different areas of life and different experiences are there? Do you think these challenges exist today?
Some of them do, but people are more matured now. They are more, I don't know what to say. People do listen to all kind of music right now. Even normal
Yeah.
person will know what metal is. So these are the things that have changed.
Culturally, do you think that the appearance of being a metalhead to a
Mhm.
metal, do you see that appearance in younger generation anymore?
Yeah, dude, I do. In fact, for
Okay.
the last gig, I saw two guys, one girl and one guy. They came in cosplaying and all, dude. And the kids felt good to look at them. The metal was still alive. Felt that too. So people are dressing up like metal, like what people say.
Hmm.
For me, especially, I don't wear all those black t-shirts and black jeans anymore. I'm more into more colorful clothes,
Okay. Such as this one.
such as this one. When you have a girlfriend, like they tend to change you.
Okay. We
Just
need to
kidding,
have
man.
a separate podcast on gender aspect for a man to look at cultural things and a girl or woman to look at cultural things is different.
It's very different, yeah.
It is very fluid in nature. Do you agree with this? That the culture, fashion in metal is fluid? Or is it very, this thing, leather, 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 and all of that?
Fashion in metal, it's good, man. It has its own identity. So once you
Is
wear
it
up,
fluid? Do you think that if Rohit appears like this
mm,
in a metal gig and doesn't wear a leather jacket, he will be accepted?
of course you will be. As long as you listen to the same kind of
Okay,
music, as long as you're there to support the scene or the bands, you are
right.
invited, you're accepted. We are not,
Mhm.
what do you call it? Just, I'm not getting the word, bro. You're not a cult.
Right,
You're not a cult.
right,
You're not a group of people who are going to burn the other guys. Like if you don't come wearing this,
right.
you're not invited.
No, but the
Like that.
identity, what I was getting into, not the cult, not the
Yeah.
non-violent cult,
Yeah.
but we are. It is a there is some sort of group identity as
Hmm.
much as I have observed, and people have talked about that group identity. That identity itself was a challenge to a lot of people. For example, people who play jazz,
Yeah.
they are not jazz heads. They are musicians, but people who play metal, they are metal heads. So the word itself gives you that cult identity, no? Isn't it? And I want to dig deeper about it with other people, including you. Since you have mentioned the word cult, it sort of got me into the word metalhead
Yeah.
because it
It
is
is. It is. Yeah.
so far as fashion is concerned, it is fluid,
Yeah. Tomorrow you go
isn't
wearing
it?
a pink t-shirt and whatever it is, people should accept you, man. Nobody's gonna judge you. Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly, my point. It's so cute. So cute, but it's so metal, right?
And it's very easy to wear and all of that.
Easy to
Since
wear.
it's white.
Oh yeah.
There is a diversity within metal. For example, some people are purist. Do you like that purity aspect about metal, or do you want to say the fluidity should be there?
So, it's not purity, man. It's like Nazism. Being, you're metal, you listen to metal. If you listen to something else, you're a fucking chutia person. Most of the metalheads, which I have
No,
seen
no.
growing up.
Culturally, I am saying not musically.
Uh-huh.
Culturally, I am.
Culturally, as it.
Culturally, as in, for example, some people from black metal community or some people from death metal community
Mhm.
wanted to look death, want death metal to look gore and not gore like this.
That's stupidity.
So this is fluidity, and the aspect of gore is,
Stupidity.
isn't it? No.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but then it doesn't matter what you wear, it doesn't matter how you look, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
correct.
all those shit. You listen to a
No,
particular
but
set of music, you are
no.
supposed to be judged on what you are inside, not by how you look or what you dress up. You can
Yeah,
dress up,
that
you can.
that is very safe argument to put. If there is a word metalhead, then how metalhead looks also is important to me, at least it is to me, to study and to talk about. So I'll ask you the next question. This is all about the negative parts within metal,
Mhm.
and how can metal bands address the lack of dedicated cultural spaces for their music?
Lack of places. People will complain that we don't have space to play, we don't have like resources and shit like that. If you work hard towards it, if you go to each and every place, give them the presentation properly in a professional way to a particular venue. It's business to them. Every venue who will give you their space to organize a gig is doing business with you, right? Bands need to know that this is not just music. When it comes to that part, it's also business because you have to earn, you have to pay your bands, you have to do. I'm not getting the word quite clearly right now, but then it's
Yeah,
very,
you have to do your.
it's yeah, you need to grind, right? Like, for example, when I started organizing gigs, at that time, I was crying that there is no venue in Pune who's gonna accept metal, stuff like that. Then I ended up doing gigs in 10 different venues, bro, and people came, people were happy. So there is no limited
Hmm.
resources as such. It's all about how you present yourself to that particular organization.
And then there is this online space which we are in, that
Correct.
is geek space. The second aspect of the geek space is business angle. I agree with all of this. There is much more to that. For example, if everybody has that cultural space, if you look at other artists which are not metal, dancer has a cultural space of their own.
Mhm.
Artists also have their cultural space. For example, कलाकार कट पुण्यात
Mhm.
खूप मोठा कलाकार कट्टा आहे तुमच्या गुडलक कॅफे. तो
Uh,
कलाकार कट्टा सगळ्या कलाकारांसाठी आहे, मान्य आहे मला.
okay.
तर स्पेस नाहीये. काही जण म्हणत होते काही वर्षांपूर्वी आपल्याला, म्हणजे आपलेच मित्र होते,
Mm.
ते म्हणत होते की नाही, एक अशी व्हेन्यू पाहिजे की जिथे फक्त मेटल होतंय, ओपन एअर जागा पाहिजे, राहायला जागा पाहिजे, आपण तिकडे काम करू, तिथे लोक कॅफे. पण डू यू थिंक देर इज अ लॅक ऑफ दिस?
So, there were a lot of places.
ओके.
There are still places. I should be a DJ at Cafe Tunes, right? If you know, that was specially
ओके.
dedicated to metal and rock. We used to play in Behemoth. We used to play Nine Fitters over there. It was a proper rock and metal space, but people didn't come.
राईट.
Right now, there is a place called Zoe's in Pune, Dole Patil Road, the old hidden place.
राईट.
They play metal, they play rock, but I don't see any people going there. I don't see our so-called metalheads going there to support the scene. I don't see a lot of people going to hidden place as well. Even they play rock and metal. But when we had the space, where were you? It's as simple as that. There will be places, new places will come up, but then the support needs to be there. If there is no support, I'm not asking you to fucking go every day and sit there, go every day and be a no, at least fucking go like once or twice in a week or whenever it's possible to you.
So you are saying the mainly the bars, right? The bars
Mostly cafes,
are also a cultural space for
sports clubs.
bars, sports clubs, and cafes are cultural spaces for metal,
There are few.
isn't it?
There are few who solely play
Okay.
rock and metal. They play
Okay.
anything from 60s rock, classic rock to
Hmm.
fucking grindcore. There are places like that. People are not aware about it.
What about the daytime? For example, if jam rooms also are the music spaces,
Man.
very good music.
Yeah, of course. But jam room
Culture could be the cultural space also, isn't it?
solely for metal is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Jam room is a business.
How come bar, cafe, and this sports club are not business and cultural spaces? They are also businesses.
They are business, of course, they are business. But then what I'm trying to say over here is
Only the aesthetic is
this.
metal.
Okay.
It is
Yeah.
not a cultural space there.
No, no, what I'm trying to say is there were places, there were
Mhm.
businesses who were solely dedicated to rock and metal,
Okay.
solely dedicated to it. Now,
Solely,
so
solely
yes,
meaning apart from the aesthetic, the emotion towards it was also rock and
yes,
metal.
because they're playing fucking rock or metal since the time they start. They start at 12 o'clock in the at noon. From 12 till 12 a.m. at night, they are playing fucking rock and metal. Are they playing something else to get more money, more crowd? No. When it comes to jam room is a space where different musicians come and jam. In the jam room, you can't invite a lot of people. to come and organize a fucking show or listen to music, right? It's a small space. Jam rooms in Pune, especially. It's not a big studio. It's a small space like this room size where six people already fucking playing the music. They cannot breathe properly. They're sweating their ass off. And on top of that, you want 15, 20 other people to come
This
in
is a
and
joke. People can breathe.
I mean, you get the point, right? Just fucking with you, bro.
Okay. So I definitely what I meant to ask was, could it be anything more? For example, I discovered one more place. It was like nobody was drinking. It was a bar though.
Okay.
Nobody was drinking. We had come together to listen to songs.
Mhm.
20 songs, we'll listen and we'll eat and we'll go. If people wants to drink, they will also drink, no problem with that. But these cafes and restaurants have to, are kind of dedicated spaces for us.
Yeah,
We should admit
yeah,
cafes, restaurant,
in a
bars,
way.
they are dedicated spaces. But there is a lack of cities like Aurangabad or tier two cities like, for example, something which is like Nashik, or maybe something which is like Chennai or something like Hyderabad or somewhere else in India or somewhere else in the world. These spaces are maybe non-existent. Unless you utter the word metal, they won't reciprocate. No? Once you say, भाई metal बजा, तो वो उसका मतलब chill है.
Hmm.
तब तक वो रॉक स्पेस है. मतलब जब तक तू बोलता नहीं मेटल बजा तब तक वो रॉक स्पेस है, बट जब तू बोलता है भाई मेटल बजा अभी मेरे को सुनना है, as soon as you say that, different game altogether.
I used to play rock. I used to start with rock. People used to come to listen to rock. There were so many metalheads back then, right? They used to come for the gigs and everything, whatever. Even
Mm.
if 10 people come, 10 people from that group come to this particular club, if they ask me to play metal, I'll start playing metal. I don't even care about what other people will think. This was my mentality back then, right?
Okay.
Because there is a space for you to listen to music with your friends, to drink,
Right.
to have a good time.
Yes.
If a group of people, if they're not coming to that place, does it make any sense to play metal to a different kind of rock? To
No,
play
it
metal
doesn't.
for a
No, it doesn't make any sense. But for example, if you push or if you announce that next 20 minutes are going to be about metal, and your owner is okay with that, the whoever runs the place is
different.
okay with that intent, then I think there is no problem in playing metal.
See, the way I used to play was I used to start at 7
That is
o'clock in
why
the
they
evening.
announce no that this
Yeah.
day or this time
There was
is
no need for
metal
the
time.
announcement. There was no need for the announcement either at all. Because what we used to do is I should start at 7 o'clock in the evening. I should play till 11:30, 7 to 11:30. I should start
Mm.
slow. Once it is 8:45 or 9,
Mm.
I should
Mm.
start playing a little heavier music. Heavier music in the sense
Yeah.
of Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, all this stuff.
Mm.
After 9:30, I should go fucking heavy. Fucking heavy
Mm.
means I should play fucking Lamb of God. Yeah, I used to play Behemoth. I used to play Meshuggah. I used to play Dying
Yeah,
Fetus.
we have heard, we
Yeah.
have been there.
You guys, we have been there. Like, I have played Blacken did their album launch. I mean, album listening party in that particular place at Cafe Tunes.
Correct.
New kind of music, new metal bands, but people don't want to come.
And for a lot of towns, the story is all together. It hasn't yet started also. It's like that for a lot of
Yeah,
towns.
I'm
Yeah.
solely talking
And
about Pune, right? I'm not talking
yeah.
anything about outside Pune.